What's up, Scoop Podcast? I'm your host, Erica Kroopin, and today we have another guest interview. I know you guys love guest interviews. I love them too, because I hate listening to myself just talk. We have Chantelle with Doodie Deeds Dog Waste Removal Business. What's up, Chantelle?
Hey guys, what's up?
I've been wanting to get you on for so long. Like when I started this podcast, like yes, I wanted to bring awareness of the poop scooping industry, but I also wanted to like bring the females together as well. Because being a female business owner, when I did research online for female business owners, like I felt like there was no content for me. Like most of it was like how to be a stay-at-home mom, grow a business from home, like make t-shirts. I'm like, but what about the girls that are out there getting their hands dirty and making moves outside of the home? Like, where are those girls at? And so I've just been super grateful that you were taking the time to chat with me. And hopefully, this conversation will reach another woman that's like, yes, I would love to start a pooper scooper business. I can do that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So for
great. Like I feel honored to be on your show. So, and I hope this does help a lot of people out, and cuz back when I started it, we didn't have all of this. It was just kind of
mhm.
trial and error basically. So, yeah, it's exciting.
Well, for those that don't know, give us the rundown. Like, when did you get started? Kind of give us the earliest stories of the business.
So I started in December of 2006, and I'm in Pittsburgh. So we have seasons, and of course, it's winter.
Yep.
I had always wanted my own business, and I just wasn't sure quite what that was. And my husband and I, started researching home based businesses, and this actually popped up. And I thought, well, I have dogs, I've had horses. How hard could this be? My background's advertising and marketing, so that this was going to be a no-brainer to just kind of advertise it. I'm not afraid to get dirty. I mean, I've ridden dirt bikes, played in the mud, and I was one of those kids that was just didn't want to come in when the street lights came on. I always wanted to be outside. So we started doing some research, and mostly me, and I decided to start in December of 2006. And I thought, if I cannot get this business going in the winter, I have no business being in this business. So that was a challenge for me. A lot of doubters, a lot of haters are like, oh, so and so did this, you'll never get it up and going. Um, my family supported me, my husband supported me, and it's here we are 17 years later. So we're going, it'll be 18 years, I think. 18 years. Yeah. So it's crazy. And I love every minute. I wouldn't change a thing to anything I did in the way I did it. I wouldn't change a thing at all. So it's been great.
That's interesting. I get asked all the time. That's a question that's like, if you were to go back, what would you do differently? And sometimes I'm trying to like reach for something. I'm like, I mean, I really don't know. The only thing I think I would have went harder and more aggressive during the pandemic. I would have shamelessly kept plugging my business. I think if anything, that would have been like the one thing I would have changed.
Okay. So, because we were in business for so long, like the pandemic didn't really affect us. And we were able to still work. I know a lot of the locals, like the police and our representatives for our state. And that was the first thing I asked. I was like, can I still work? I mean, we're outside, we're not dealing with people. And they all said the same thing. If anyone bothers you, let us know, because we were considered an essential, because we do have a lot of people who are disabled. They cannot do this on their own. So therefore, they classified us with the essential businesses that could still work. And we did get a lot of new business during that time too, because I think people were afraid to leave the house, and even just to let their dog out. They were afraid to walk out in the yard. I used to have people throwing me checks out the window because they were so afraid. And it's crazy. But that's a good, like, when you bring that up, like me starting my business in like the middle of winter, again, if you can't make something work during the hardest of times, how are you going to make it work when it's the easiest of times? Like, you need those hard times to show and prove to you that, okay, I can do this. And it's not a matter of if I can, we had to. I have a family. So I had to do it. I had to make it work. So
Oh gosh, you can just tell that you have so much like willpower and you're going to persevere. Like what going back in 2006, what was it like back then? Or were pooper scoopers known back then?
yeah, I mean, not like it is now. It was hard. Like, I think I found a handful across the country on the internet to just kind of see how they do things, how they do their pricing, what are their policies. So, I mean, I'm sure some of them are on our groups. Maybe a little bit of plagiarism there, but it helped. But around here, we had two that were in business for quite some time before I started. And honestly, the one was really no competition. He sort of let his business crash and burn. The other one sold his business. And then the only other competition I really had, well, it's not competition, is Poop 911. But I mean, they're newer in my area. So they don't really affect me. But there wasn't much to go on. I mean, it was a hard sale. Like you really had to target your market without spending a whole lot of money, and that's, again, my advertising came in place with that of like how to target the market. So,
So, okay, the market, I mean, everything's changed. It's even changed since when I got started because I
mhm,
went full time 2 months before the pandemic. Like, I quit my hospital
mhm.
job. I was like, peace out, suckers. I'm out of here. I'm never coming back. And then the whole world was like, boom. I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go deliver pizzas, I guess. I don't know. Which I did. I did. I went and delivered pizzas to make sure I didn't have to go back to the
Mhm.
hospital while still growing my business. And then
Yeah.
business kept growing, and I told my friend boss, I was like, "Hey, I don't need to do the pizzas anymore. Peace out.
Yeah.
I'm
I did
going to
I did the same thing. Same exact thing. I was an independent contractor in advertising, and it was a company who did eBay Motors, and I had a lot of experience with doing magazines and stuff like that. So with eBay Motors and being an independent contractor, I was able to, on the side, start my own business. Yeah, I'd go do cars, and then I'd put my magnets on and I'd go do a yard. Then I'd go take pictures of cars and do their advertising. It was like constantly switching back and forth all day long. But it only took me a couple months to get to where I needed to be to quit my job. And that was the greatest feeling. And when they asked what I was going to do, I mean, they laughed the whole way out the door. I mean, I could still hear them laughing, and they're like, "Ah, that's not going to fly." And I think with the doubters, like that really gave me the determination to make this work and to prove them wrong. So yeah, it's, I understand that. It was the greatest feeling in the world walking away from what the only thing I've ever known, which was sales and advertising. It felt so good to put it behind me. And I slept good that night for sure.
Oh, I love that. And a lot of questions that we get are like, how to sell your business, how to get more customers. So, what were you doing back then versus what you're doing now to grow your business? Because I'm sure like things have changed, right?
Yeah. They have changed, but not too much because I think the only thing I see me doing differently is like Facebook. And I mean, Facebook was kind of there. I don't think it was as big as it is now. We had MySpace, but that was not a
Oh
really,
yeah.
it wasn't really a good platform. I really didn't advertise on Facebook. I think a lot of it was word of mouth, getting my website up and going. I think a lot of it was old school, going into veterinarians, introducing myself, going into groomers, which I still do it because that's obviously dog businesses. So I go where the dogs are, and I still once in a while hang up some flyers, leave some business cards, take some donuts. That seemed to always work really, really well. Now it's like I do get a lot of business from like Google, but I don't advertise on Google. I just have a business page. And I will occasionally do some advertising on Facebook, but for the most part, I've never really had to spend a whole lot of money in advertising, which is good.
Yeah, I'm writing some notes down right now because I go where the dogs are. I think that's going to be a really good episode title.
Yeah.
Actually. It
Yeah.
no, I'm glad that you're talking about that because, you have people that do have deep pockets, they can sink a bunch of money into
Mhm.
advertisement, and then you have people that don't, and you're like, "Well, how do I advertise? How do I get in front of these customers without, spending thousands of dollars?" So, can we talk about that a little bit more so it can reach that
Yeah.
person that's like, "I need to grow, but I don't have the money to spend."
I just remember going to the printing place or even printing off my own computer, like tear sheets. I would hit all our local convenience stores, and we have like these little country stores because they all have bulletin boards. And that is one of the best places just to hang your stuff because I think first when people see it, they're like, that's a thing, but then they're curious. So then they want to check out the website. And so then they check that out. Next thing you know, they're calling you or they see like that, I think has been my biggest thing, like getting started. My very first customer came from a tear sheet from a veterinarian clinic. She saw it there. She tore off the bottom and called me that day. And she was my very first customer. And she was with me up until I think 2 years ago, divorced. So she left, and but she, because of her, I also started with my referral program right out of the gate. So that helped me. This same lady who was my first customer, she referred me to everybody in her neighborhood. And I swear to God, she had 2 months free of service because she just kept referring me and referring me. So when you can find someone who can do that for you and you just sweeten the pot a little bit more and say, hey, you do this, I'll even give you a gift card just to help me. But a lot of
Yeah.
it was we just didn't have the technology was there, but not like it is today. So you really had to think outside of the box of how to get people. Trade shows don't work for me. Dog events don't work for me. It's nice exposure, but I have never received one customer from any of that stuff. I like to just go to support the community. That's about it. So it's think differently, instead of spending thousands on. I, I know as Pooper Scooper here locally, he's a great guy. And when he told me he was spending thousands of dollars when he first was starting out, I was floored because he's like, well, how much have you spent? He's like, because you're up at the top there. I said, well, that's a business page, and I've never spent a dime on Google. And again, my customer forms, I'll ask, where did you see us? How did you hear about us? And so they'll check off how they saw us and how tear sheets is one of them. So it's great. You have to track your advertising to know if you're getting, bang for your buck. So
For those that don't know what a tear sheet is, I mean, I know what it is because
yeah.
I'm a little bit older. What's a tear sheet?
So you have on the top half, just like what is it, like 8x10 paper, 8x11, whatever size those printing paper. And you have your information on the top of it, your logo, your business name, your number, because people will take pictures of it too. Now I know you could put barcodes on them, which that's all new to me because I didn't have those scanners like back then when we did them. And on the bottom, it's just sort of like little tabs. Like you create little like you cut draw a line and cut
It looks
little
like fringe.
yeah, and like you can rip it off. Like I see it, and what gave me that idea actually to do that is when I was in a doctor's office and I saw on the back of the door about abuse. And it was a little tear sheet. They could tear the bottom off for a hotline. And I thought, how discreet and how brilliant is that? So that's kind of where I kind of thought, well, I'm going to do that, but I'm going to put it in veterinarians and groomers and pet stores. And I would check it as much as I could. That's the biggest thing. If you do this, you have to check to make sure your stuff is still always there, or that competitors aren't taking it down. So I mean, I check all my places where all my stuff is at least once a week to make sure it's okay.
It's like like okay, for those that are watching the video, if you have like a piece of paper and then the info, hold on.
That's it. Yeah,
It's yeah, it looks like this, and the information, like the phone number or the website would be there, but they would go up further. Like, I don't know, let's
yeah,
say this. Yeah,
yep,
that's a
and
little fringy tear sheet.
yeah, and just rip it off.
Hope there was nothing important. I probably should have read it. Make sure there was nothing important. Eh. That's all right. What can you do?
Figure it out later.
It's probably been sitting here for months anyways, not doing anything with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's story of my death.
Well, ugh, goodness. So what is the size of your business right now?
So we service 37 townships and we are, I would say, just a little over 500 customers a week. So,
That's amazing.
yeah. I mean,
And you're running with independent contractors, you said?
I do. So there's myself and I have six independents, and two of us are full time. My other full timers on maternity leave for some probably 3 months, 4 months, and the other ones are all part timers. So they'll do anywhere from 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. So they all have their own individual routes, but it's nice because that was something I didn't want to do. Was I didn't want to be a boss. Like I wanted a business, but I didn't want to be one of those people who are like, what are you doing? Where are you at? What's going on? I just, because I hated that when it was done to me. And my people perform so good. And I don't bother them through the day. If they want to check in with me, they do. And 9 out of 10, they always check in at the end of the day. And that's up to them to do. It's not required. So they're just, I don't know, they work so much better without somebody like keeping tabs on them, I guess. It works. It works for me. It may not work for everybody, but it has worked quite well for me.
I do want to expand more because I this is a question you see it in the group. W-2, 1099, like what do we do? What happens if there's like issues, complaints, like they don't show up for work? Like how is that situation handled?
Honestly, I have never had that issue until recently. And all of my one technician has been with me for 13 years, and she's one of my full timers. My other one has been with me, she and her husband actually, for 7 years, and they're more 3 days a week. Then I have two newer ones, two guys who actually have other jobs, but they'll help me out in the evenings and on weekends. I went to hire somebody, it was probably like 3 months ago, and she was doing a really good job. Like I thought she did a great job. And I had to actually kind of, maybe you have to do it slyly because they're independent contractors. It's a very fine line, but I kind of critiqued her, and not in a bad way. I had a customer call. She gave him his, like her word that she would be there between 7:30 and 8 in the morning. She's like, oh, I could definitely do that. That's not an issue. You're going to be my very first stop. Well, he called and he said, I have to lock up my gates and go to work. Where is she? And I said, well, it's raining. Let me call her. Maybe she's a little behind. I call, no answer. I'm like, okay. She calls me back and I was like, oh, hey, Mike's wondering if you're on your way. And she's like, well, actually, no. And I said, she's like, oh my gosh, I forgot about him. And I was like, okay. What do you say? Okay, it happened. She's new. So I gave her the benefit of the doubt for about 30 seconds. And I said, can you go back? And she's like, well, actually, I'm still in bed. Uh, I was like, I can't tell you when to start your day, but when you give somebody your word, stay true to your word. And she did not. And so she ended up quitting that day on me. And it was probably one of my worst days ever because I've never had someone do that. And it was the day of my daughter's prom. My daughter's Asperger's. So this was a big deal for us that day. And I took off the whole day. And the day before, she's telling everyone, I love this job so much and blah, blah, blah. But she didn't want to get out of bed. I'm like, it's not going to work out. So that is really the only time I had someone who I hired that was working out that didn't show up. Then I was starting to interview and they either didn't show up at the interview or they said, oh, yeah, I want the job. And then the day of training, they didn't show up. So this is all happening within the last few months. This happened. I never had this issue before, people. So
It's odd. So, yeah, how are you interviewing or how you're finding people? Where are you looking?
So the two guys I have now, one is my client. He lost his full-time job, but he has a freelance business on the side for graphic design, and he wanted to come and help me. He's worked out fantastic. The other guy was a referral from a customer. He works as a fitness instructor at a country club, and so he works for me 2 days a week. Prior to that, I was using Indeed. And my one who's on maternity leave, she was the only one that worked out fantastic from Indeed. And it's been a struggle without her. So I told her, I don't care what you have to do. You strap that baby to your back. You need to come back. So like, she's so good. Like I don't, we miss her because we're taking up the
Yeah.
slack, and I don't want to hire and go through all this again because it's training, everything else. It's too much of a hassle. So but Indeed has worked. Word of mouth has probably been the best. So I don't know. It's people don't want to work nowadays. They give you a whole big fluff story and then they don't show up, or they do really bad. It's been interesting to say the least over the last several months. So
I've had some customers that have been like, they see my advertisement and they're like, "Hey, yeah, I would love to work for you part time." And I've always been a little sketched out by it because I'm like, "Is that a good idea? Is it not?" Like, they don't even scoop their own dog poop.
I
But
know
then again,
that
but
was
I
my
didn't. I
first
didn't really
thought.
like to scoop mine. Yeah, I didn't like to scoop mine until I got paid for it either. Like, I don't enjoy doing that.
Yeah, it's and that's kind of funny that you bring that up because that was also part of like me starting my own business, not only looking for the top 10 home based businesses, but after that snow had melted that year, I was like, oh my gosh, I would pay someone to do this. And that's when we started researching the pooper scooper business, and it came up as the top 10. I mean, listen, I was like, oh, let's do a coffee shop. Let's do a tanning salon. I don't even like tanning salons. I just wanted to be
Right.
my own boss, So that's funny that you bring that up. But yeah.
When I had to abruptly let my scooper go recently, because like the second car accident, it was a mess. And then I was like, I haven't scooped my own yard in 2 years because I put myself on route.
Uh
And I was back there scooping. I was like, I gotta hire somebody.
huh. I do.
Like, I don't want to do this.
I don't want to. I have teenage daughters.
They do it because
Oh,
ours don't. Their kids, they're like, that's your job. I'm like, ooh, I could take you out right now.
yeah, no, we have a chore board, and I'm like, you want that nice stuff? You're going to work for it. And so they do. They're 17 and 19, and they take turns. One does it one day, one does it the other day. They're the one that keep talking us into all these dogs. I had nothing to do with that. But it's like I'm not scooping it. I don't want to come home and scoop my own yard after doing like 27 to 32 yards a day. I want to come home and kick back, and they do it. They do a good job too, because my Asperger's daughter, who's 19, she'll come with me and help me, and she does a great job, and it's really good for her for socializing, and my customers absolutely love her. So I think it instills something into them that it's not going to kill them, but it's gross, it's dirty, but they do a really good job. So, but I'm not doing it. There's just no way.
No, I'm not either. Are you in the field full time still?
I am right now. So I was down to 3 days a week, and I was quite enjoying it because I was getting stuff done, and I was really able to focus on the business. And I've noticed being back in full time and being as big as we are and having as many technicians that you do start to lose a little bit of focus. And you kind of have to step back, and I have to regroup myself right now. Um, I would like to get back down to 2 or 3 days a week, but with my technician off right now on maternity leave, I have to fill in. I don't want to give up too much of her route because I don't want to lose her. Like I really want her to. She will be back, but yeah. I mean, it stinks, and especially the part where you feel like you're losing focus because then you feel like you're failing your own business, even though I know I'm not. It's just sometimes still feels that way. So getting behind. That's what happens.
Well, and I think too, there's a lot, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. And when we have to go back into the field, at least me, I felt like I was, like you said, failing the business. But
Hmm.
essentially, like, we're doing what we need to do for the business. And
Yeah.
sometimes we have to go back in. And it kind of also shows us, because sometimes when we get out of the field, we get a little bit desensitized to things that are going on.
Yes.
With you getting pulled back in, are you seeing like, "Oh, maybe there's some inefficiencies, some things that I can tweak a little bit to be better?"
Yeah, yeah, and no. Because again, I think I've been so blessed with the technicians that I have that they've done such a good job. I think the thing that this is teaching me being back is I need to stay in touch with my customers more. And I always said when I started this business, I will know everybody by name. I didn't want them to be a number. And I think when some companies get so big, it's like now they're just customers or just a number. So being back and kind of reconnecting with a lot of the customers has been really nice. Some of them I haven't seen in years, but it's been such a nice reconnection with them. So I guess it has its benefits of being back in the field. As far as tweaking anything, I honestly don't know what I would tweak because things seem to be just going with the flow. And I mean, it's you're in a yard, you're gritting it. There's not much. I mean, we don't do the wishy wash or anything like that. It's just, we just strictly stick with scooping. So there's not really much more than other than the customer service, keeping up on the customer service.
No, that's good because you've been in business for a long time too. For me, when I was like pulled back into the field, I was noticing I'm like, maybe some of these yards shouldn't be taking this long, or maybe we shouldn't be taking on these type of properties in this area. Or we this whole area has been built up with new subdivisions. Why hasn't this been hit with flyers yet? Like, what is going on right now? Because I was out of the field for 2 years, didn't realize there's so much opportunity here.
And I agree. And and there is a lot of opportunity. And it's funny because my dad lives in like it's kind of like an affluent area. It's growing. It's these subdivisions, these it's just it's exploding where he's at. And he's like, you need to get in there, you need to do this, I mean, this is my dad has nothing to do with the business. You gotta go here. I'm like, Dad, I would love to, but there's that one problem, hiring people. Nobody wants to work. And till I find, someone who could really fit the bill, and I know that they're going to stick around, I will go hit every single one of those houses, whether it's flyers on the door hangers, getting in with like the HOAs, anything, because this is, it's, it kills me because I drive through it. It's like untapped, like no one's tapped into it yet. And I love going into those areas that nobody has tapped into because then we are the official pooper scoopers of that area. And I have one area right now that we are the only ones who will go that far, but we have over 30 some customers there. It's hard to say no. And
That's a full route.
it is. And it's great. It's a big route. And it was actually given to me by my friend Zach. He owns Clean Green and he's newer and we've really helped each other. It was so far for him to travel, but it wasn't really much further for us. And he had 7 customers or 8 at the time. He's like, do you want them? I said, yeah, I'll take them. That's all I needed. And then get my cars up there and everyone sees them. And that was it. It exploded. So we have a lot of these divisions coming up, these communities. And I mean, I'm sure there's someone knocking on my back door not far behind me. And they'll eventually maybe get them because right now I just can't, I can't, I don't have the manpower, unfortunately. So, and I feel like that holds me back, which stinks because I would love to have 600 customers, 700 customers, but it's just right now it's not doable.
Do you have like a vision or a goal that you're like, I want to get this large, or you just like get it as big as we can get it. Whatever happens, happens.
It get it as big as we can get it, and whatever happens, happens. That's kind of always been like my attitude with this whole thing. Is again like when
I
you
love no, I love it.
yeah like when you first start out, like again you have so many doubters, and it's like, oh nope, I'm gonna make this bigger each year. I'm gonna get bigger, and I'm gonna get bigger, and I know like we have a rush, and I know a lot of people were their seasons, they get their rush, and ours will start now like October, November, December will get slammed. And then we get slammed in end of February, March, and April. So that's where our influx comes with all new customers. And I don't care if I have to go work weekends to get those customers, I'm going to do it because they're calling us now. I'm not out looking for them, they're calling us. So we do what we can to make that work. I definitely just go with the flow. It's crazy because I mean, I read a lot. Like I'm always in the shadows reading on both of our sites that all of us are on, just seeing what other people are doing. And I feel so old school compared to some of the people, but it's what I've been doing has worked so well for me. And again, I could have 1,000 customers right now, but I choose not to. I've grown slowly and steady. And I feel that's helped me to maintain our reputation. It has helped us maintain our, our service to our clients and just being thorough with them. So I like the slow, steady grow because I mean, it has worked for us. I think if it explodes, I probably would explode too. I don't think I could handle it.
Yeah, no, I think that way too. Because when you're in those groups, you see everybody doing so well, and you're like, yeah, you're doing a good job. But I know sometimes I start comparing myself. I'm like, well, you're not you're not exploding like they are. You're not doing all of these things, and sometimes you just have to look back and think who you are as a person and what you can handle and what you want to handle. Like I'm realizing I really want to spend more time with my husband. Like we really like each other. We're in a season right now where we actually like each other.
Mhm.
It's amazing. I'm like, "I'm gonna get pregnant. I know it. I know it. It's gonna happen." Um, and it's just like I want to spend more time with him, but so I'm like, "Okay, how do I figure that out with, the business and spending time with him?" Um, and so, yeah, it's nice to hear that you are like, "Yeah, slower growth. It's cool, and you've been in business for so long, and you have a successful business." So business isn't all one size fits all.
It's true, and the most important thing is there was a lot of sacrifice in the beginning, and now it's like I mean I'm where you're at. Like I want to spend time with my kids. I want to spend time with my husband. I mean, I remember again this is old school doing. I couldn't even remember how many invoices I would do, but I swear there was a do not disturb sign on my door like do not disturb me and this was like a whole week it would take me to do all these invoices before now everything's electronic but it was just I did sacrifice a lot for this business, a lot of time. Now not so much because you have to take a step back and realize what's important to you. Is it family? Is it business? I mean, and they're both important, but one is always going to trump the other, and it's going to be my family when it comes to the end of the day. But a lot of sacrifices were made to build it to where we are. And there's weekends I give up just to go wintertime and snow miles. We're working 7 days a week. That's time taken away from my family, but it's initial cleanings. And as most of us know, we can't when you have a full route, you can't just go do an initial cleaning, and it's the money is, I mean, I'm one of the only few pooper scoopers in the area that will do an one time in initial cleanings. And those other people, they're crazy because it is a lot of extra money and it's a lot of time, 7 days a week, but we make so much money.
Yeah, and it gives you the opportunity to show them how wonderful you are, show them what a thoroughly clean professional backyard looks like, because it looks different than when your husband does it or when your kids do it. And
Yeah,
then to be able to try to, yeah, convert them into on route.
right, right.
Cool. So does your husband help you at all in the business?
He does, but he doesn't want to. so he has a full-time job. He works for an engineering firm. He's a senior designer, and I will pull him in on really big jobs, and I have to bribe him with lunch or dinner or something. Um,
Same.
Come help me. I need help. But that's the only time I really will ask him. Or if someone sounds sketchy and I'll say, well, let's go do this yard on a Saturday. Will you come with me? Because I have to put like one of my female technicians in this yard or myself. And you do have to be careful. So I will drag him into a couple things, but that's pretty much, I mean, him or my daughters, and none of them like being dragged into it, but they are so willing to help me because they know how much it means to me.
I love that. Honestly, I love it when Josh and we go out and we scoop together and we have fun, and he also works for food. And it it kind of like I don't know if your husband helped you in the beginning, but it reminds me of like those beginning days where everything was just so like new and like what if and like the first day we made $1,000 scooping dog poop together, we were like, $1,000 scooping dog poop? Like this is crazy. We were like, we've unlocked the secret. This is great.
Yeah, it was in the beginning. He definitely helped me out a lot, and try to talk him into it once in a while if he has a day off. I'm like, oh, you should come with me. He's like, nope, just come with me. Nope. So lunch doesn't work anymore, but it's just like the big jobs. So he will step out and help. But yeah, in the beginning, it was sweet. That's how we spent our quality time because we didn't have kids yet. So it was kind of like our quality time and him helping me grow the business. He played a big role in this, probably bigger than he realizes, because without his support, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at today because I just remember him saying, just make enough money to pay your car payment, insurance, your credit card, and he took care of the rest. And I was like, oh, that's it. Okay. So, like I said, within 2 months, I was able to step back from my job and go full time with this. So, he was probably my biggest cheerleader and my biggest supporter in all of this.
I'm right there with you. Josh is my biggest supporter, and I don't think the supportive role because I was speaking with Amanda Owens last week or the week before, and she's the supportive role for Justin, and we were talking about how like the supportive. I don't think they understand how important they are, so we can go out and do what we need to do. Like, yeah, it is so important.
It is, and any support. I mean, same with like from my parents. I mean, that is just to hear my parents tell me, like my dad's almost daily, is how proud he is of me. Because I think there was a time where I was kind of like a wild child and I just I just never wanted to grow up. I was never going to I didn't get married till I was 34. I just was not I was like, nope, nope, nope. I'm just going to do this for the rest of my life. But I mean, I was good. I didn't get in trouble, but I had no direction. It was like, what am I going to do? Keep burning myself out with advertising and marketing and sales. And it was like, I knew I had to do something, that I was meant to do something bigger than that. Because after running a lot of businesses for other people, and I saw how they just didn't take care of their business, I'm like, I could do that better. And I think that's when the wheels really started turning. By the time I was around 32, 33, my wheels were just turning. I was like, I need to do something. And I was 36 at the end of 36 when I started my business. And that is one of my biggest regrets, is not thinking of this sooner. I wish I would have done this sooner. So if anyone's out there, it's early 20s, jump on it, because I wish I would have known about it in my 20s. I'd be like Jim and his raccoons. I'd have like a whole bunch of people, I mean, it'd be great. But yeah, I mean, it definitely,
Jim was awesome.
oh, he's great. Oh my, I love his videos. It's like, I just want to go play with the coons. It's like, he's like raccoons everywhere. That's just too
He was one
cool.
of the
But
first people that I talked to in the business because like you said in the beginning, there was no content out there. There wasn't people doing anything. And so I started like scavenging. I don't even know if that's a word. Whatever. I was looking all over the internet and I found an article of Jim and I called him. I think I called him. And I was like, "Hey, my name's Erica and I have a pooper scooper business in Michigan." And we just had a nice conversation and
yeah, I've never met him personally, and I kind of wish I would have. Well, we had circumstances where we couldn't last year with. I think it was it last year that they had the convention.
yeah, cuz I couldn't go either.
Yeah, we were going to go, and I was so excited, but then my husband was diagnosed with cancer. So we took a step back, canceled life for a few months until he got better. And then I thought, oh, they're every year. We'll get it next year. I didn't realize they were every 2 years. I'm like, well, we should just have our own up here, like in the northern states. And it's like we should just do our own thing. But Yeah, I really wanted to go. I wanted to meet everybody, and we were kind of looking forward to it. So hopefully we'll get to one and get to meet everybody, because I think that would be just to sit there and be with like-minded people, I think would be awesome.
Well, yeah, because it's not like you have a ton of pooper scoopers in the area, so it is nice to to talk to other people to find out like you've been in business for a long time, so you could talk to somebody else that's been in business for much longer, learn something, but then you could talk to the newer person that's like starry eyed, just trying to figure it out, and hopefully help them along the way.
Yeah. The biggest thing I think when you do this, I mean, I dove right in, and I'm not opposed to anyone just diving right in, but again, slow and steady. But I think if you're going to take the jump, take the jump.
Hmm.
I remember telling people when I first started, like, what was the worst thing that could happen? And it would be I fail. So what do? Go back to advertising and marketing. So I always had that backup plan. But it's nice to see people getting in this business, because especially the newbies, they have no idea. Like, they have no idea how truly lucrative this is. And so I mean, I don't push it too much around my area because I don't want that much competition. But I mean, I like to help other people. I mean, I do help. I mean, I'm friends with quite, like, there's only a few of us. I am the ones, well, there's more than a few of us, but I'm only friends with a few just because I reached out to them. We had all started pretty much at the same time, except for Zach. Like, he started right when the pandemic started. And but we're friends, we get along. It's I would rather be friends with my competition than be at each other's throats, because in the long run we truly do help each other. We can't cover all of Western Pennsylvania, by yourself. So
Yeah, I've had pretty good experience with all the scoopers except for
mhm.
one. They were bullies, and they were bullying me and another local scooper, and they eventually got the boot by Mike out of the poop scooping group. He's like, "I took out the trash." And we were
Good.
like, "Yes,
Yeah,
these suckers are
good.
out of here." That company's out of business now, and they just released all of their customers. They just like canceled everybody very abruptly. Didn't even give them like that much time. So we got flooded right before spring rush with all of these customers that were in a panic wanting our services, but this company had been just collecting cash for so long, and so their rates were so low, and all of us, our rates were so much higher that these customers were enraged that we were charging $80, $90 a month
Mhm.
for service when they've been paying $45, $50 a month for like years. And I was getting called a gouger. I was getting called taking advantage of people. They said they were going to report me because I was unethical.
To
And I'm like,
who?
whoa, like this
With the
to,
poop
to
control.
them.
I mean, who are
And
they going to report you
so they were
to?
the better, it was always the Better Business Bureau.
Oh, please.
But they're like, I would love to, keep using my other company, but they went out of business, and I just really want to be like, well, they went out of business for a reason. Like,
Mhm.
I have to price this way to stay going, to stay afloat. And that was nuts. That was crazy. But that goes back to like just not taking care of your customers. Like, I would have tried to like place them. Like, I would have tried to reach out to other companies and say, hey, listen, something abrupt happened, can you take any of these customers, and try to transition instead of being like, I'm releasing all of these customers. If you want them, you have to earn them. Cause that was literally what they said. They're like, we're not going to give handouts. You have to earn these customers. They did more damage to their customers because their customers were in a bad
Wow,
way.
that's
It was
bad.
nuts.
See, and that's where, like,
It was really.
is that's crazy. Like, and that's where, like, Zach knew he couldn't cover that area and called me and said, "Do you want these customers?" I mean, he knew, and because he didn't want to like stick it to them and say, "Hey, sorry, bye, I'm dropping this whole territory." I mean, he definitely reached out to me first, and if I couldn't do it, then I knew someone who might have been able to, but she has since now retired. But I mean, that's what you do.
Mhm.
I mean, these people, like, not these people, they're our customers. Like, they're our bread and butter. They put roofs over our head. They're loyal to us, and that's the least that you can do for them is, I mean, show the loyalty back. Like, hey, I know a great guy. I know someone that can help you, or great girl that someone can help you. That's terrible to do that to somebody. So, and that's why they crashed and burned. Obviously, they didn't have really. They were probably in it for the wrong reasons. And I know we all want to make money, but it's sometimes not all about the money. I take great joy in what I do.
It is, and it's nice. I enjoy all the aspects of it. I love the
Mhm.
money. I love being able to serve people, and I really love going to networking events and telling people I scoop dog poop for a living and watching them stare. They're like,
It's the
"What? This happened yesterday." This woman's like, "No, you don't." I was like, "I swear to God, I do."
it's the best. And then the best are like, okay, well, what do you do with it? It's like now they want to know, like your whole everything from start to finish in every yard. I love telling people because it is the look on their face. The only thing that will get me though is if someone like, oh, are people really that lazy? And I love to ding them. I was like, well, not actually. I was like, you do realize like a lot of my customers, are disabled. And then it makes them feel this big. And I like to do that to people because I thought, no, this isn't, people are busy. Life is busy. People have families. I have customers who leave when the sun isn't even up yet. And when they get home, the sun is already set. This happens. They do what's right for their dog. They not only hire pooper scoopers, but they have doggy daycare. They also have dog walkers. They care enough about their dogs. And I'm thinking, why do I have to explain this to these people? But I do, just because of their ignorance to it. But that burns me when they say stuff like that.
I like to respond. I'm like, "You know what? My customers are just highly intelligent. They know how to leverage their time with money. I love
Oh,
it."
that's
And then
good.
they're like, that's always a good one."
Uh huh.
Uh, or, then I hit them with the disabled, or I'm like, "It's 2024. Do whatever you want with your money."
Right. Right. Yeah. I had someone who got real snippy with me about it. Like they were really trying to almost like rip on the idea, rip on the business, kind of rip it on me. Like, why would anyone ever want to do that? You know, and it goes back to, these people are just so lazy. They shouldn't have dogs. And I kind of like got a little irate. And I think we were in a restaurant or somewhere. I don't even know where I was at when this was going down, but they overheard a conversation or something. And I thought, I looked at them. I said, you should tell my veteran that has both his legs gone and see if he feels the same way as you. Like I was so irate. And my mom just looked at me. She's like, I think we should probably go now. I was like, because I just was like, wow, the nerve of someone talking about something they know nothing about.
Like, you shouldn't even be eating. You're so lazy. You shouldn't be going out to eat. Why are you eating this food? Because you're so lazy. Like, I would just start getting ignorant. Like, you shouldn't live in your house because you didn't build it. How'd
Right.
you get here? Did you build your own car? Like, I've done that before, like back in the day. And I'm like, all right, calm down, Erica.
I know. Like sometimes I feel like, oh my gosh, my filters are going to be like turned off in a second, and I can't hold back. I can't help it.
We get like so passionate about our
Mhm.
customers because we know this is like a good service. And some
Yeah.
people are just like, they're just, I don't know, idiots. I'll say it. They're idiots. They're just judgmental idiots. I'm dealing with a guy right now over on YouTube. He called me a douche for my
What?
advertisement
Oh God.
because of the profanity.
Oh my
And I'm
God.
like, hey man, you gotta make waves. You gotta get attention these days.
That's crazy. I mean, does he have a limited vocabulary that he had to use that word? I mean, my gosh, that's insane.
Well, I did look at his profile. I went through all of his profile pictures because I like to get a real good grasp on who I'm talking to. And he had
Mhm.
a limited selfie pose. It was a hat, a pose like this, minimal smile. And there were like 25 pictures of the same pose. I'm like, all right, that gives me an idea who I'm talking here to.
Wait.
Not even.
Take
It was
one.
weird. He was just like, I'm like, this guy is a wacko. I should go on there and start commenting on his pictures.
You should.
but I won't. I won't do it. I won't do it. Well, this was so much fun. I had a really good time
I
chatting. We're coming up
know.
to 50, like 56 minutes. Do you have any like little, I don't know, last words or tips that you'd like to offer some of the listeners that are like, girl, just trying to figure it out?
I would say, I mean, if you want to be your own boss, this is definitely the way to be your own boss. I would say don't be afraid just to do it because, again, the worst thing that happens if it doesn't work out, you go back to doing what you're doing and then you find what works for you. But I just, I love seeing new businesses in the pooper scooping industry coming up. And like, I will be anyone's biggest cheerleader when I first start, like, because it's exciting. And obviously, we can't service every single dog in the whole entire area. I mean, it's, we have 50,000 registered dogs. So, so I would say go for it. Don't be afraid. Ask a lot of questions, do a lot of research, join these groups. The people that are so helpful. And I was intimidated to join at first. And, knowing I've been doing it for so long, but it was one of the best things I ever could do for myself because of the advice. You think you know it all after 17 years, and you don't know it all after 17 years. And I'm learning new stuff as I go along. So I would definitely tell anyone who's interested in doing it, definitely do the research and just jump in, jump in with both feet and try it.
And like you said, keep being like teachable, keep being a sponge, keep learning and growing because uh, being an entrepreneur is a journey. Like I'm sure you've gone through like so many, like even personal development. I'm sure you're a different person than you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
Yeah. I can tell you, I love my business so much that I was supposed to pretty much be on bed rest for 3 months. I had breast cancer. And during that time, I refused to let my business fall apart. And that was in 2021. I had technicians relying on me. I had customers relying on me. And it is because I am so passionate about what I do. And I am so passionate about what I'm giving to others. And if I could take one thing off of their plate and this is it, then I'm doing a really good job because again, people are busy. People have to, they don't have a lot of time. So I was determined just to keep going, keep going, keep going. So again, I would tell people, even when times are tough, don't give up. Look for solutions. Work hard, not smart. Like just do what you have to do. If this is what something you love, don't stop.
What about on the days where you don't love it? Like you would love nothing more than to give your whole business away. What do you do on those days?
You think I'm crazy, but I've never had a day like that. I haven't. I just
Really?
I love
Man,
what really. Yeah, I love it. I love getting out of bed every day. And I'm like, I just could never. Someone asked me today if you would hit the big mega millions, would you quit your job? And I kind of, it was a customer, and I kind of looked at her and I was like, I don't think I could quit because I've worked so hard putting and building this business.
yeah.
I don't think I'd want to let it go. I think I'd still have to be a part of it somehow, some way. I always say I want to have a little coffee shop on the side that caters to people and dogs. And maybe that might be a second business adventure someday. But I I truly absolutely love, even when days I'm sick, I still get out of bed and I go to work. And I don't know, I really really love what I do, and it drives me. So it gives me purpose, if that makes sense. Like it true, not that my kids and my husband don't, but this really truly gives me the independence as a woman that I feel that I need. It drives me. And I just want to keep going forward and like full throttle, but slowly, but full throttle, So
I wonder if independent contractor is the way to go because I'm telling you, dealing with the employees and the crashed vehicles literally almost broke me. That like I'm still not out of the weeds yet. I'm still dealing with the crash that happened on July 1st.
yeah, that was
So
crazy. And,
yeah,
and I thought about you so much that week, like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe this is happening again to her. And that's my independence. They're using their own cars. So if they want to screw around and wreck their own cars, that's on them. I don't, it's not on me. And There's so many benefits to having independent contractors. The biggest thing is like a lot of them do have side gigs just because they choose to. I don't want to be a boss. I'm a business owner first and foremost, and my priority is customers. But if you could ask any one of my independents, they love it just because, again, it's not stressful and they work better because they're not stressed out by someone like, hanging over them. But you should look into it. I mean, I highly recommend 1099s. It's expensive. I talked to my accountant about W-2s. He's like, "You're crazy." He's like, "You've got such a good thing going." And it's everything we're doing is by the books. We're not doing anything shady. It's everything's reported. We're doing it by the books. I'm not the only company they're strictly with. They couldn't go with another pooper scooper company, but they all have their own little businesses on the side that they do. So it's definitely something worth looking into.
Well, yeah, I absolutely agree because I think you are the first person that I've talked to that's like, no, this business is great. And you have a different model and you have a different setup. And so there really is something here because I'm dealing with an unemployment claim from a termination from an accident that was caused by said person. I'm like, you're going to hit me with unemployment when you crash two of my cars? Wild.
See, that's crazy.
So I
Yeah, I wouldn't want that headache. Like, I wouldn't want the burden. I wouldn't want the headache. And again, when you do independent contractors, it is a very fine line because you cannot dictate to them. You can't treat them like they're an employee. And again, I think my technicians, that's one of the first things they tell people is like, I don't do that to them. I don't say you have to call me every 5 minutes, you have to check in, because I trust them. And I think finding people who you can
yeah.
truly trust is very important. And my team, they're phenomenal, and not to sound braggish or anything, but they're really, really good at what they do. And I think it's the respect. We have respect for each other, and they have the same passion I do. So it's, I don't know. I could never do employees. I don't know. I couldn't do it. I commend you. Like, you're brave, and everyone out there has them. It goes, everything has worked so well for me for 17 years doing this, and I will never change that. That's one thing I'll never change.
So with them using their own car, do um do you have to be like a rider on their policy or anything like that with like insurance?
Mm-mm. No, they use their own cars. They pay their own insurance. If something happens, I've had two, well, one, not two, one, she was in an accident, and it was no fault of her own, but it was her car. They're reliable for everything. So when they sign my contracts, that's in the contracts that we're not reliable for anything because, again, they are an independent contractor, which technically they're self-employed, is what they are.
Yeah.
So they pay their own taxes, insurance, like health insurance. Well, two of them now are getting close to two of my technicians are 65. Her husband is 70, and they're awesome. Like, they've been with me 7 6 7 years. They're amazing, but they're on Medicare, Medicaid, so they have like their insurance. But my other technicians either go off their husbands or they have bought their own health insurance. So, because that was something that always played in the back of my mind, well, once if I can't get people, because there's no benefits, there's nothing. There's nothing. You're
Yeah.
working, you're getting paid, and I pay per stop. I don't do an hourly. I don't do a weekly or any of that. It's like I split it with them, per stop. So it's up to them to make their money. So if we can average 4 yards an hour, that's up to them. They want to do 1 yard an hour. Well, they're not going to make any money, but I don't know. I have no headaches, I get the occasional complaints, don't get me wrong, but it's not like what I hear some people going through. And life's too short. I don't want that headache.
So I don't want that headache either. So I love this conversation because I do like I see your social media and I'm like you're having fun, you're smiling. And I'm like, man, she's got something going on there. What's the secret sauce?
Yeah, that's my secret. There's just not a whole lot of stress. I mean, customers can stress me out once in a while, but but they're paying for service. So you just have to kind of deal with it. Even on vacation, I spent one morning dealing with some invoicing issues while on vacation. But again, because you're never off, you always
No.
have to be there regardless. But I knew, so that was fine. Like when I left for vacation, I had two teams. I had team Annie, team Mara Lee, and all the other technicians. Like I split it up. If there's an issue, call Annie. If there's an issue, call Mara Lee. That worked to my advantage. So I only had the occasional customer calling me, why am I not there scooping their yard today? Or my invoice, credit
Mm.
card didn't go through. I was like, this worked out so good. Like I have to do this again. But again, it's not. I love it. I mean, I just wish I would have started earlier in life, but it was meant to be when it happened.
I'm a firm believer in that too. All right. Well, thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and we're going to wrap this one up. So if you guys are listening to this and you're on the fence and you're like, I don't know if I should start, do it.
Do
Do it
it.
tomorrow. Do it today. All right, you guys. I try to drop a new episode every Monday. I appreciate you guys so much. If you haven't left a review, I would greatly appreciate that because the reviews are actually what helps the podcast get seen and stuff like that. So I appreciate it. And until next time, bye.